Halloween essentials, how to cover your brows. You're gonna need the purple glue stick, of course, and you're going to work that all in your eyebrow. And if you have thick eyebrows like me, make sure you go back and forth, up and down. Really get the front. I find that the front always kind of sticks out. You're gonna get like a brow comb or spoolie and comb your eyebrows straight up. You don't want them to be clumped or anything. You don't really want the hairs to be laying on top of each other. You want them to be nice and combed out so that they'll lay flat. And what I do is I'll use the back of the brush and press them down. Make sure they're pressed down. So that way this first layer will dry just like this and make everything else so much easier. And you can always go back in with more glue. What I like to do is lick the glue. Don't like lick it, but like quick dot. And then just reapply. You're gonna let this layer dry down completely. And then you're gonna keep doing that with layers. And I'm gonna show you how. For a quick dry, use a fan. Okay, so when you do your other layers, you want to be sure that you press and glide. Press and glide. Press and glide. You don't want to do too much of this while it's wet, because then it's going to start flaking and it's just going to look crusty. Like you see how that's up there crusting? Yeah, you just want to press and glide. Let it dry and keep doing that. Tapping it to make sure that the layer is dry, and it is. So I'm going to do another layer. This is the third layer. So I'm doing this kind of out of order. Usually you can put powder over this to set the glue and then concealer. But me, personally, I like using concealer and then powder. Is just what I like to do. And I like to use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer because it's thick. It dries down fast. And it's not moisturizing. So that way it's not separating the brow hairs. And what I do is I just go right over my brow. Just tap it right over. And I go in the direction of the hair growth. So that way it's coating all of the strands. And I'm going to do this just like this. Nice and thick. And then I let this dry down. I'm probably going to blend out the edges just a little bit. But essentially I let this dry down without touching it at all. So that way it's a really good brow cover. You just tap it. Tap them edges. Another layer of concealer on a brush right over that eyebrow. Let that dry. And I'm just using this light shade because this is what I have in this concealer. You can use one that's your skin tone, so when you're blending it out, it just looks like your skin. But this is the color that I have, and I'm going over this with a whole different, you dig? So whatever you have. This is how it's looking, and now I'm going to use powder and get started with my makeup look. This is just the Maybelline Fit Me setting powder. It could be any setting powder, really. Just set it. And now you only have one eyebrow. Do this for both if you don't need either of them.